We have a great weapon that came out with Season of the Lost. It's one that's had different things said about it, some good, some bad, but to me, the Jurassic Green is awesome. The reimagined Lincoln Green is coming in as a solar 540 RPM pulse rifle. It's obtained from the rewards chest after doing the haunted lost sectors, and sometimes you can get a couple of them to drop. In this review, I want to talk about and explore where and how this fits into your loadout. Compare it to other popular 540s, the best perk combinations, what makes it special, and more. I'm sure you've heard and viewed about 1,000 reviews on this thing. This is going to be my take and my stance. So gather as much information as you can and put together what's best for you and your loadout. I've grinded these lost sectors for, 10 plus hours. I have a ton of rolls, including what I believe is the God roll, the one to go for. And you're going to be seeing this in the majority of the review. Arrowhead or extended, high cal or ricochet, rangefinder, multi-kill clip. It's got a stability masterwork. For the Crucible, this pulse rifle flows through rangefinder, and I'll tell you all about it in a moment. Just like the title says, Jurassic Green is great. It is great, and everything that comes out doesn't have to be the next best thing. It goes to show that feel is a big thing. Perks, the shooting experience is a big thing. So I want to explore that. It's the only Solar 540 non-sunset that was needed. We now have the trio, Solar Jurassic, Art Darkest Before, Void Grid Skipper. It's complete. As far as the base stats, I see a lot of you comparing them to the fan favorites, so let's look into it. As someone who is a stat nerd, as someone who looks at these things every day, I'm telling you, there is nothing to worry about here. You'd be splitting hairs. If you wanted to say Darkest Before has 7 more range, it's better. Cool. Hey, Grid Skipper, it has 5 more stability. It feels better. Cool. I'm not going to argue with that, because after all, it's about what you think. And with these numbers, the +5 here, the +8 there. In the grand scheme, though, it's all made up combined with the perks, barrels, and mods. And if you want to see a true discrepancy, look right here. Look no further. This is something to worry about as far as overall performance. With these pulse rifles, not so much. And if you really want to get technical, Jurassic Green can have more range than the Grid Skipper and Darkest Before. It can get to 100 stability, just like the others. If Jurassic has Rangefinder, and I stated earlier that that's what makes the weapon flow. And if Darkest Before, Grid Skipper both had arrowhead break, ricochet rounds, whatever masterwork, the Jurassic still has more range. That's because of Rangefinder. It's all about focusing strengths. The base stats are fine. The handling stat, targeting helps, reloaders help. When it comes to the feel, it's got an easy open sight. Some of you don't like Grid Skipper's momentum sway. It's got a very jumpy dot. Some don't like Darkest Before. All of them are okay though, it just depends on who you are and what you like. When it comes to the barrel and magazine, no matter what, you want to add a counterbalance mod to bring that recoil direction of 50 to 65. Ending in 5 on the curve means you're going to be vertical. And the higher the stat, the more it's tightening up. So with that barrel, Arrowhead Break is highly sought after. Combining that counterbalance mod with Arrowhead Break, you're at 95 recoil direction. It also has +9 handling. The other recoil direction mods work well too. Chambered, extended, fluted is the biggest handling bump. You can't go wrong there. And unless you're on M&K and you're confident in your shot, I would stay away from full bore. It does work with controller or mouse and keyboard, but full bore puts a burden on most weapons in the game. This one's no different, so be careful. For the magazine, rapid fire frame. High cals are great. +5 range comes with that too. Ricochet, +5 range, +9 stability. And remember, this rapid fire frame has a faster reload when empty, so in PvE, run that mag out. For the perks, the bread and butter, the chase, rangefinder, it's the outlier. It's important. I want to talk about this perk first before I get into other perks and combinations. Let's remember what rangefinder does. Let's get back to the basics. Rangefinder gives a 10% increase to zoom when aiming down sights. It's increasing that zoom to just under 1.9 times overall. You're looking through a lens, a magnifier. With what we know about adding zoom, it's tried and true, it's proven. Adding zoom to a weapon, 1, your aim assist cone is lengthened and narrowed. Number 2, it increases accuracy and target acquisition. And 3, adding zoom constraints recoil, effectively making it more stable and grouping shots closer together. So when you take this Jurassic Green that has tunnel vision multi-kill clip, great roll, and you compare it to Rangefinder multi-kill clip, both of these have 56 stability, the same exact stability. When you compare the bursts, you see that in action. You can see the recoil constraints. So yes, you could look at the stats all you want. You could look at perks, but you need to put it all together when you do. Rangefinder is the chase here in that first column, and it's not close. Rapid fire frame, blooming, decay, all of it. Rangefinder helps. An important note, with how Rangefinder works, at a distance past fall off, it helps land those shots that would usually be inaccurate. These pulses are great overall hand cannon counters. They live outside the hand cannon range. The momentum really shifts to the pulse favor 35 meters and beyond. And the pulse rifles have a different fall off value. They hold damage more as they get moved back. And a hand cannon drop off is fast, it's sudden, it's severe. Even though it does have rangefinder in close to medium, it still does well. It's the same concept as putting on a ranged Model 8 sight on the Multi-Mach SMG. You could still dot players up and down with it in close range. The total range band for Jurassic Green is 30.3 to 37.5 meters. That 37.5 is max range perks, full bore, ricochet, range masterwork, rangefinder. My role, and the role I do recommend, is rangefinder, arrowhead break, then high cal or ricochet. Just that is 31.4 meters. With a range masterwork, it's 35.5. Totally acceptable. The zoom for rangefinder helps aim assist, your recoil, your fall off, staying on your target and landing shots. It's great. The pairing perk is going to be multi-kill clip, and we're talking specifically in PvP here. These have a 0.8 TTK, it's a 9 bullet kill, so 3 total bursts. 7 need to hit the head and 2 for the body. MKC can make that a faster TTK, and it also extends that 3 burst distance. That's the one to go for: arrowhead, high cal or ricochet with rangefinder multi-kill clip. Counterbalance mod added, and a stability or range masterwork. The barrel can be changed to whatever you're comfortable with, but I really do value the 95 recoil direction. Other perks: it still has more things to offer. Talking PvE now, Dragonfly. The only other solar Dragonfly pulse is Stars and Shadow. Remember, Stars and Shadow had a mega perk pool, so good luck getting it. Pulses find themselves frequently in the artifact. Unstoppable anti-barrier, so you can use it on champions. And since it's solar, it has Dragonfly, you can pair 2 of the most powerful mods in the game. Explosive Wellmaker, rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage, spawns an elemental solar well. And then Wrath of Rasputin. Solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create a Warmind cell, so you have the ability to get a Dragonfly damage collateral to spawn a Warmind cell and solar wells. It's a highlight for this weapon. Then again, if you're into that kind of thing with build crafting. But overall for PvE, you mainly want to be going for Subsistence Dragonfly or Subsistence Frenzy. I do have a Subsistence Frenzy, it's awesome, but that isn't to say that you can't do well with Rangefinder Frenzy, Killing Wind Dragonfly. They all work. It's serviceable. Maybe a Wellspring roll, maybe you want to use MKC in PvE. You do you, it all works. I'm going to be sticking with my Subsistence Frenzy. And since it's solar, you can do things like Battle Harmony, Titan, Path of Burning Steps, Prometheum Spurs, because it is solar. Lots of combinations. And also, don't forget about heating up. At ×2 heating up, and if you have big stability perks on this thing, like a Stability Masterwork, Polygonal Rifling, it gets to 100 stability overall. For the Crucible, all tried and true combinations work: Tunnel Vision MKC, Killing Wind MKC, Heating Up MKC. I would hold on to Adrenaline Junkie rolls, that goes for the Crucible or PvE. They said it's going to be getting a buff. They gift you the Heating Up Adrenaline Junkie roll, and I just recently got a Rangefinder Adrenaline Junkie. A ton of these combinations work, but the outlier is that Rangefinder multi-kill clip. What it all comes down to is what you have, what you like, and what you want out of it. If you like Darkest Before, you have one, like say it's a nice surplus rampage, slide shot full auto, whatever. You do you, that's awesome. Maybe a Killing Wind multi-kill clip or Heating Up multi-kill clip grid skipper. If you slay out with it, then do it. But Jurassic Green here is just as good. Just like how Rangefinder is the chase for the Adept Palindrome, it's the same concept here. I do encourage that you get rolls and you try them yourself. It's currently the most accessible. You just go in, you farm the lost sectors. Grid Skipper, you're going to have to turn in Umbral Ingram, so that's going to depend on your Umbral frequency and how many times you win that 50-50 battle. Darkest Before is definitely farmable as well with a fire team. So I would just like to end with how I started. Jurassic Green is a great pulse rifle, and not everything has to be the next big thing. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And if you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. Use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about this pulse down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.